Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a transformative journey. Today, we're not just talking about silence, we're unveiling a hidden superpower from the Stoic perspective, a secret to elevate our lives amidst chaos. Picture this: ancient philosophers, masters of wisdom, left us invaluable tricks to transcend the relentless noise of a world spinning out of control. You're not just listening, you're embarking on a quest for tranquility in a tempest of haste and uproar. Now, pause and imagine, what if silence, as the Stoics reveal, is your strongest ally? Envision Marcus Aurelius, a beacon of calm in a storm, whispering, "In tranquility, we find strength." Feel that? It's the power of stillness amidst life's whirlwind, a sacred oasis in your daily desert. And Epictetus, another sage, challenges you: it's not what happens that disturbs us, but our judgment about what happens. Realize that silence is more than the absence of sound. It's a profound way to reshape our reality, to change how we perceive and respond to the world around us. Imagine Seneca, with his piercing insight, reminding you life is fleeting and death inevitable. This isn't just a message. It's a wake-up call not to squander precious moments in noise, but to seek the profound wisdom of silence. On this journey, we don't just learn, we transform. We don't just hear, we experience. Silence isn't mere quietude, it's a portal to answers for questions you haven't even asked. Picture yourself in an ordinary day, bombarded by distractions. Now, see yourself stepping back, embracing Stoic philosophy, harnessing silence as a mighty tool to conquer chaos. It's not just finding shelter in a storm, it's rediscovering your true self. Reflect on this: silence isn't emptiness, it's a canvas for your deepest reflections, an invitation to paint your innermost thoughts and aspirations. Hear the words of Marcus Aurelius, echoing through time: true strength lies in tranquility. This isn't just a statement, it's a call to action to embrace calm in life's turbulence. And Epictetus, he's not just a philosopher, he's your guide, teaching you that in silence, we learn to master our perceptions, to find peace in chaos. This journey is more than discovery, it's a revelation that silence isn't just the absence of words but active, profound listening. Seneca's wisdom isn't just advice, it's a clarion call to value every fleeting moment of life. Silence then transforms from a mere concept into a vivid reminder of life's brevity and the urgency to seize each moment. As you absorb each word of this narrative, you're not just listening, you're weaving a tapestry where Stoic philosophy melds seamlessly with your reality. This isn't just exploration, it's a pilgrimage towards authenticity, where silence isn't just a tool, but an invaluable companion in your quest for inner peace amidst life's frenzy. Self-knowledge in silence isn't just a practice, it's a gateway to hearing your inner voice clearly. The Stoics aren't just ancient teachers, they are your mentors, guiding you to strip away external noise and tune into your deepest essence. This isn't just a restful pause, it's a critical and honest examination of your beliefs, values, and desires. Marcus Aurelius doesn't just remind you, he empowers you that true strength lies in self-knowledge. Immerse yourself in silence, and you're not just contemplating, you're descending into the depths of your being. This serene retreat isn't just an escape, it's a face-to-face encounter with the essence of your existence. The Stoics, masters of introspection, don't just suggest, they urge you to harness this oasis of stillness to unravel the complexities of your mind. Remember, this isn't just a tour, it's a life-altering experience. Embrace silence, and you embrace the very core of your existence, unlocking a world of untapped potential and profound self-discovery. Imagine this: you are in an intimate dialogue with yourself, where every thought, every emotion flows freely, unobstructed. This silent conversation is where we unearth the roots of our deeply held beliefs, critically examining our past actions, projecting the lighthouse of self-awareness into the future. Visualize Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, guiding us through this profound journey of self-exploration. He invites us to cast off the masks we wear amid life's hustle and confront our deepest truths in the sanctity of silence. In this quietude, we encounter our shadows, recognize our virtues and flaws without any filters. This self-knowledge, born in silence, becomes an internal compass, steadfastly guiding us on life's intricate journey. Epictetus, with his simple yet profound wisdom, reminds us that while we cannot control everything, we can master how we respond. In the hush of introspection, we learn to recognize our automatic reactions, unraveling the invisible threads that weave our emotional tapestry. Picture a serene lake, its surface mirroring a cloudless sky. This image of calm mirrors the inner peace we seek. The Stoics invite us to navigate this internal lake, steering clear of the tumultuous waves of worries and distractions. Inner peace, like a hidden treasure, awaits discovery in the silent waters of our being. When we dial down the volume of external noise, we pave the way for a tranquility that is independent of external circumstances. Seneca teaches us that true happiness stems not from the absence of problems but from our ability to address them with calm and wisdom. On this journey of self-discovery, silence becomes our refuge, a haven where emotional tempests find their calm. Marcus Aurelius instructs us in the art of maintaining inner peace, not allowing external events to disturb our serenity. In silence, we learn to be architects of our own tranquility, building internal fortresses that safeguard our calm amidst life storms. Epictetus, with his pragmatic approach, reminds us that although we can't control all events, we can control our response. Silence is where we cultivate the art of responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, an essential skill in preserving inner peace. We immerse ourselves in the understanding that inner peace is not a passive state but an active skill, nourished in stillness. Far from being an empty void, silence becomes the canvas on which we paint our inner tranquility. In this space of reflection and acceptance, we discover that authentic calm arises not just from the absence of noise but from our ability to find stillness, even amidst chaos. In conclusion, silence emerges as a silent teacher, leading us to the serene waters of inner peace, where each moment of tranquility becomes a precious gift we offer ourselves in the ongoing journey of life. Now, let's shift our perspective to the third benefit of silence from the Stoic vision, the improvement of concentration. In a world saturated with stimuli, where attention scatters like leaves in the wind, silence emerges as a formidable ally to focus our minds. Envision a tranquil garden where the flowers of concentration bloom undisturbed. In this silent sanctuary, distractions fade, allowing us to immerse ourselves fully in the present task. The Stoics teach us that attention is both valuable and limited, and directing it towards what truly matters requires a calm mind. In silence, we enter a mental gymnasium. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, guides us in this practice, reminding us that our mind is like a field we can cultivate. By reducing external noise, we prepare the ground to sow the seeds of deep concentration. Epictetus offers us a practical perspective. There are no good or bad things. It is thought that makes them so. Picture this. In the realm of our minds, silence emerges not merely as the absence of sound but as a sanctuary where we shape our thoughts, a space dedicated to focusing on what truly matters. This isn't just a concept, it's a transformational practice. As explorers of the mind, we discover that silence is the birthplace of a mental arena, free from distractions. Seneca, with his practical wisdom, beckons us to seize this opportunity, directing our attention towards significant goals, projects deserving our full dedication. Improving concentration in silence is not just an act, it's a form of self-discipline, a daily ritual that sharpens our focus on the essential, elevating the quality of our work and enriching our experiences. Silence, therefore, is not just quietude, it's a catalyst that enhances concentration, an indispensable tool in the toolbox of the modern Stoic striving to excel in a world brimming with distractions. Now, let's shift our focus to self-discipline, the fourth benefit of silence in the Stoic philosophy. Imagine self-discipline as a guiding light, illuminating our path in a world rife with constant stimuli and temptations. In silence, we find fertile ground to strengthen our will, to take command of our actions. The Stoics, with their pragmatic approach, urge us to harness this silence, using it as a tool to cultivate virtue through self-regulation. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that silence is a sanctuary where self-discipline is nourished and flourishes. Here, we learn to master our impulses, resist the lure of fleeting emotions, and align our actions with our deepest values. Seneca, the master of moderation, reminds us that commitment to our goals and respect for our commitments is paramount. The self-discipline shaped in the stillness of silence becomes the foundation of our personal integrity. We, as architects of our self-discipline, recognize that silence is not an escape from action but a training ground for the mind and character. Epictetus would remind us that some things are within our control and others are not. Self-discipline lies in discerning wisely between the two. Thus, the self-discipline that flourishes in silence becomes a beacon guiding our daily choices, turning each moment of stillness into an opportunity to fortify our resolve. Now, let's turn our attention to the fifth benefit of silence from the Stoic perspective, the appreciation of the present moment. In a fast-paced world, where our minds often drift between past and future, silence stands as a portal connecting us with the richness of the now. Imagine the present as a garden blooming with flowers that can only be truly admired in the moment they unfurl their petals. Silence invites us into this garden with full attention, leaving behind past regrets and future anxieties. The Stoics teach us that we truly live in the present, and in silence, we learn to savor each moment as a unique and irreplaceable gift. Marcus Aurelius, with his serene gaze towards existence, guides us through this journey of appreciation, reminding us of life's ephemeral nature and the clarity that silence brings in valuing the transience of each experience. Every silent moment becomes an invitation to delight in the simplicity around us. Epictetus, focusing on the here and now, tells us it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. In silence, we gain the ability to strip away unnecessary judgments and immerse ourselves in the pure essence of each moment. Imagine a world where appreciation of the present moment transforms our daily perception. In this journey, silence emerges not just as a pause but as a profound teacher. It invites us to slow down, to see our environment through new eyes. Seneca, with his timeless wisdom, would remind us that life is long and generous for those who fully embrace it. We learn to seize each moment as an opportunity to experience life's richness. In silence, this appreciation becomes a lens, revealing beauty in life's simplest details. Each breath of silence is a reminder that true wealth lies in our ability to savor and enjoy the present moment. Now, let's delve into the sixth benefit of silence from the Stoic perspective, the reduction of stress. In a world teeming with demands and pressures, silence stands as a soothing balm, calming internal tempests and providing a sanctuary of serenity. Picture stress as a tumultuous storm in the mind. In silence, we find a safe harbor, calming these turbulent waters. The Stoics, understanding life's turbulence, encourage us to seek in silence an island of calm amidst chaos. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that it's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. In silence, we learn to reframe our perception, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. Each moment of silence becomes a restorative pause, allowing us to face stress with clarity and perspective. Epictetus, focusing on what we can control, guides us in releasing unnecessary burdens that contribute to stress. In silence, we learn to discern between what is in our power and what is not, liberating ourselves from anxiety about the uncontrollable. Silence then becomes not an evasion of reality, but a conscious embrace of it. Seneca would teach us that life isn't short, but we often make it complicated. In silence, we simplify, shedding unnecessary worries and embracing the peace of acceptance. As we journey through stress reduction, silence becomes a therapeutic ally, disconnecting us from external noise and reconnecting us with internal calm. Each silent moment is an opportunity to shed emotional burdens and recharge our energies, facing life with renewed vigor. Thus, practicing silence as an antidote to stress is a conscious choice, preserving our inner peace amid life's tumult. Let's now explore the seventh benefit of silence from the Stoic perspective, the promotion of empathy. In a world where noise often drowns out our ability to truly listen, silence becomes a bridge connecting us with others' experiences and feelings. Imagine silence as a space where we transition from speaking to active listening. Here, the Stoics invite us to set aside our narratives and immerse ourselves in the realities of others. This act of empathy, cultivated in silence, deepens our understanding of those around us. Marco Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, would guide us in this exploration, reminding us that empathy is not just compassion but wisdom. In silence, we make room for others' voices, recognizing their humanity and building bridges of understanding that transcend superficial communication. On this journey of fostering empathy, silence becomes the canvas upon which we paint mutual understanding. Epictetus, with his focus on our sphere of control, encourages us to use empathy as a tool to strengthen our relationships, teaching us to listen without prejudice, to set aside our judgments, and to immerse ourselves in the experience of others. Empathy, cultivated in silence, transcends mere intellectual exercise. It's an intimate act of human connection. Seneca, emphasizing virtue, reminds us that greatness lies in our ability to understand and feel others' suffering. In the quietude of silence, we learn to be respectful witnesses to others' experiences, offering support without judgment. Fostering empathy in silence becomes a poignant reminder that words often aren't necessary to express compassion and understanding. Each silent moment becomes a chance to build emotional bridges, nurturing our relationships and contributing to a world where empathy reigns as the most valued currency. Advancing in our Stoic exploration, we focus on the eighth aspect, the development of patience. In a world where impatience is rampant, silence emerges as a wise teacher, instructing us to wait with calm and acceptance. Picture patience as a garden requiring time to bloom. In silence, we find the fertile ground to sow seeds of quiet waiting. The Stoics teach us that patience isn't just the absence of impatience, but the ability to wait gracefully amidst life's inevitable delays. Silence, like a gentle clock, ticks away, reminding us each moment has its rhythm. In this stillness, we learn to appreciate the process, to embrace the natural flow of time without resistance. Marco Aurelius guides us on this journey, teaching that patience isn't merely enduring but how we conduct ourselves while waiting. In silence, we develop patience as an active virtue, accepting what we can't change and working with what's in our hands. Epictetus, focusing on internal control, instructs that patience is built by gracefully adapting to changing circumstances. Thus, silence becomes a space where we practice patience as an active surrender to life's flow. The cultivation of patience in silence isn't about resignation, it's a conscious attitude towards waiting. Seneca reminds us that even when time seems elusive, it belongs to us. In silence, we find the power to choose how we respond to life's pauses and delays. Each silent moment transforms into a lesson on the beauty of waiting, allowing life to unfold at its own pace. As we navigate life's waters with the grace only patience can confer, we delve into the ninth Stoic benefit, the cultivation of resilience. In a world of challenges, silence is fertile ground for internal strength to germinate. Picture resilience as a steadfast tree, flexible yet unbroken in storms. In silence, this resilience tree finds its roots. The Stoics see silence as a space to nourish our ability to recover from difficulties, to find strength in adversity. Marco Aurelius reminds us that obstacles aren't barriers but opportunities to demonstrate our resilience. In silence, we learn to face challenges with calm and determination, seeing each as an invitation to grow. Silence becomes a training room for our minds and hearts, where Epictetus teaches us that resilience is built by accepting what we cannot change and courageously responding to what we can. In silence, we develop the capacity to find meaning amid adversity. Seneca, with his practical vision, reminds us that we can't avoid life's blows, but we can choose how we respond. In silence, we explore the connection between resilience and wisdom, understanding that each difficulty is a lesson. The cultivation of resilience in silence becomes a dance with life's inevitable fluctuations, each silent moment an opportunity to strengthen our adaptability, learning from falls, and rising stronger. Thus, silence is revealed as an ally in building internal strength, allowing us to face challenges with grace and determination. As we continue, we immerse ourselves in the 10th Stoic aspect, focusing on the essential. In a world where attention is easily scattered, silence stands as a beacon, guiding us toward what truly matters. Imagine focusing on the essential as a flashlight in the dark. In silence, we discern the trivial from the significant. The Stoics teach us that true wealth lies not in accumulating things but in directing our attention to what matters most. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, guides us, reminding us that life is fleeting and thus we must concentrate on the essential. In silence, we tune into our true priorities, setting aside superficial distractions and directing our energy toward what gives meaning to our existence. On this journey, silence becomes a space to practice the art of saying no, urging us to embrace simplicity in stillness. Silence is not an escape from life's complexity but a conscious choice to simplify. Epictetus, focusing on what's in our control, teaches that inner peace is found in accepting reality and focusing our energy on what we can change. Thus, focusing on the essential in silence becomes an act of clarity and discernment. In the heart of silence, we uncover a realm of profound introspection, where every whisper of our soul is amplified. Here, we encounter the essence of our being, a place where superficialities fade, revealing our true selves. This journey of self-discovery in silence isn't just about finding peace, it's about embracing our authentic selves, about peeling back the layers to reveal our core. Each moment of silence invites us to delve deeper, to explore the uncharted territories of our inner landscape. In this sacred space, we become artists of our destiny, sculptors of our path. Silence offers us the canvas to paint our dreams, the quietude to listen to our heart's deepest desires. It's here, in the hush of introspection, that we find the courage to chase our true aspirations, to align our actions with our innermost values. Silence, thus, becomes a sanctuary where dreams are nurtured, where the whispers of our heart become loud and clear. As we journey through the labyrinth of silence, we encounter its transformative power, its ability to reshape our perspective, to alter our worldview. Each silent retreat becomes a pilgrimage to our innermost sanctum, a voyage to the depths of our soul. Here, in the silence, we are not just thinkers or dreamers, we are seekers of truth, explorers of the vast universe within. Silence, in its profound simplicity, offers us the keys to unlock the mysteries of our existence, to decipher the enigmatic codes of our life's purpose. It's in this quietude that we find the answers to our most pressing questions, where we uncover the secrets that have long eluded us. Silence is not just a pause from the noise, it's a gateway to enlightenment, a bridge to a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos. Each moment of silence is a step closer to self-realization, a journey towards a deeper connection with the universe. It's in the quiet moments that we hear the universe speak, that we feel the pulse of life vibrating within us. Silence becomes a sacred communion with the infinite, a dance with the divine. In silence, we are not alone. We are in the company of the stars, the whisper of the wind, the rhythm of the sea. It's here that we realize our oneness with all that is, our interconnectedness with the tapestry of existence. Silence is not just a state of being, it's a celebration of life, an ode to the beauty of the universe. As we emerge from the silence, we carry with us the wisdom of the ages, the serenity of the sages. We return to the world not just as participants but as custodians of peace, as ambassadors of tranquility. Silence, thus, becomes not just a personal retreat but a gift to the world, a beacon of hope in a tumultuous world. In the embrace of silence, we discover not just ourselves but the essence of humanity, the heart of the universe. It's here, in the stillness, that we find true connection, true understanding, true peace. Silence is not just a momentary escape, it's a lifelong journey, a perpetual quest for harmony, a never-ending exploration of the depths of our soul. Each moment of silence is an opportunity to liberate ourselves from the clutches of superfluous distractions, to focus deeply on our most important goals and to live in harmony with our core values. Silence, thus, stands as a guiding light on the path to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Let's delve into the 11th aspect of the Stoic perspective, the cultivation of gratitude. In a world constantly chasing more, silence is the fertile ground where the seeds of gratitude can flourish. Visualize gratitude as an inner garden, each flower representing a moment of appreciation for our blessings. In the quietude of silence, we find the perfect space to nurture this garden, to pause and acknowledge the abundance in our lives. The Stoics teach us that gratitude is not merely a response to positive events but a mindset cultivated in the serenity of reflection. Marco Aurelio guides us on this journey, reminding us that much of our anxiety stems not from situations themselves but from our interpretation of them. In silence, we learn to transform that interpretation, seeing each experience, whether challenging or joyful, as an opportunity for growth and learning. In this process, silence becomes a mirror reflecting the richness of our present. Epictetus, with his focus on what we control, teaches us that gratitude is nourished by recognizing and valuing what we have, rather than lamenting what we lack. Silence thus emerges as a means to appreciate our blessings without the distraction of external noise. Cultivating gratitude in silence is not just about listing things we are thankful for, it's about fostering an attitude rooted in an awareness of life's transience. Seneca, focusing on virtue, would remind us that true richness lies in acknowledging the sufficiency of what we possess. In silence, we discover the richness of each moment, recognizing that life, with all its fluctuations, is a precious gift deserving appreciation. Therefore, the cultivation of gratitude in silence becomes an act of openness and recognition, each silent moment an opportunity to give thanks, to find joy in simplicity, and to celebrate the richness embedded in our everyday experiences. Silence stands as a sage teaching us to find fulfillment in the present by nurturing gratitude as a perennial wellspring of inner well-being. Now, let us progress to the 12th aspect, the enhancement of creativity. In a world where relentless noise can stifle the creative spark, silence emerges as the blank canvas where ideas can freely flow and take shape. Envision creativity as a river that flows unimpeded in silence. Here, this river finds a clear channel, allowing the waters of imagination and innovation to course freely. The Stoics remind us that creativity is not an isolated act but a process fostered in a tranquil mind. Aurelio guides us on this journey, reminding us that creativity blossoms when we allow our minds to transcend self-imposed limitations. In silence, we create the mental space necessary for innovative ideas to emerge. In this empowerment process, silence becomes a workshop where thoughts are sculpted and visions crystallized. Epictetus encourages us to view creativity as an act of internal transformation that arises when we set aside self-demands and let inspiration flow organically. Creativity, enhanced by silence, extends beyond artistic expression. It permeates all facets of life. Seneca, with his pragmatic approach, reminds us that creativity also lies in solving everyday problems. In silence, we explore the capacity to find innovative solutions and fresh perspectives, freeing our minds from the monotony of routine. Thus, the enhancement of creativity in silence becomes a journey of liberation and discovery. Each silent moment is an opportunity to break free from conventional thinking, to embark on an odyssey of the mind, exploring uncharted territories of thought and imagination. Silence is not just a pause, it's a catalyst for intellectual and creative revolutions. In the embrace of silence, we find not only a respite but a renaissance of the mind, a rebirth of ideas and perspectives. Here, in this sanctuary of stillness, we connect with the deepest wellsprings of creativity, tapping into the latent potential that lies dormant within us. Silence becomes the alchemist, transforming the lead of mundane thoughts into the gold of groundbreaking ideas. Each moment spent in silence is a step into the vast expanse of creativity, a journey into the heart of innovation. Here, we become artists of life, architects of our destiny, sculpting our future with the chisel of imagination. Silence, thus, is not merely a lack of sound, it's a symphony of potential, a melody of possibilities waiting to be composed. In the stillness of silence, we discover that creativity is not an external pursuit but an internal awakening. It's in the quiet moments that we hear the whispers of inspiration, that we feel the pulse of innovation coursing through us. Silence becomes a sacred dialogue with the muse, a conversation with the essence of creation. As we emerge from the silence, we bring with us a treasure trove of ideas, a constellation of creative insights. We return to the world not just as thinkers or dreamers, but as creators, as innovators, as visionaries. Silence, thus, becomes not just a personal sanctuary but a crucible of creativity, a forge where the future is shaped. In the hush of contemplation, we find not just peace but power, the power to create, to transform, to revolutionize. Silence is not just a moment of pause, it's a lifetime of creation, an eternal wellspring of artistic and inventive genius. Silence is revealed as the catalyst that awakens the creative spark within us, leading us to unexplored places and infusing freshness into our unique expressions in the world. It allows the mind to wander, to explore new ideas, and to give shape to the creativity lying dormant in the depths of our being. In this quietude, we discover the untouched corners of our imagination, where innovative thoughts and original concepts are born. Now, let's advance in our Stoic journey to the 13th aspect, the strengthening of introspection. In a world rife with constant distraction that can distance us from our inner selves, silence emerges as a reflective mirror. It allows us to contemplate our deepest truths. Visualize introspection as a journey toward the center of yourself, a path leading to the discovery of your most intimate thoughts and emotions. In the embrace of silence, this journey becomes clearer and more revealing. We free ourselves from external clamor to engage in a profound dialogue with our innermost self. The Stoics teach us that introspection is like a lighthouse, illuminating the path to self-awareness and self-improvement. Marco Aurelio guides us on this inward voyage, reminding us that silence is not just the absence of noise but also the space where we can hear the voice of our soul. In silence, we become our own wise counselors, examining our thoughts with clarity and discernment. This process of introspection in silence is not about self-judgment but about self-acceptance and growth. Seneca, with his practical perspective, would remind us that silence offers the opportunity to better know ourselves and, in doing so, provides a chance for self-improvement. In silence, we delve into the deepest layers of our psyche, unraveling the complexities that define our character. Thus, the strengthening of introspection in silence becomes an honest conversation with oneself, an opportunity to delve deeper into our being, discover our essential truths, and advance on the path of self-discovery. Silence is the silent accomplice on this journey inward, facilitating an intimate dialogue that nourishes personal growth. Continuing our exploration of the Stoic perspective, we enter the 14th aspect, the promotion of tolerance. In a world marked by a diversity of opinions and beliefs, silence emerges as a space where we can cultivate tolerance, accepting the multiplicity of perspectives. Visualize tolerance as a bridge connecting the shores of understanding and acceptance. In the quietude of silence, this bridge is built as we withdraw from the judgmental noise and open ourselves to listen and understand the diverse voices that surround us. The Stoics teach us that tolerance is not merely an external act but an internal attitude cultivated in the serenity of the mind. Marcus Aurelius guides us on this journey, reminding us that each person sees the world from their unique perspective. In silence, we appreciate the richness of this diversity, learning to let go of the need to impose our truth and allowing others the freedom to express their thoughts. In the process of promoting tolerance, silence becomes the catalyst that dissolves the barriers of mental rigidity. Epictetus, focusing on what is within our control, urges us to free ourselves from the arrogance of believing we possess the only truth. In silence, we embrace the humility of recognizing that each perspective has its value and its right to exist. Silence, thus, becomes more than a mere absence of sound. It transforms into a powerful tool for personal development and social harmony. It's in the quiet moments that we learn the most about ourselves and others. Here, in the tranquility of our inner world, we find the wisdom to navigate the complexities of the outer world with grace and understanding. In this sanctuary of silence, we are not isolated but deeply connected to our deepest selves, to the people around us, and to the world at large. It's a place where empathy, patience, introspection, tolerance, and creativity converge, creating a symphony of personal growth and social cohesion. Each moment of silence is an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery and societal understanding. It's an opportunity to strengthen the fabric of our inner being and weave stronger connections with the world. In silence, we find the keys to unlock our potential and the potential for greater harmony in our communities. As we embrace silence, we realize it's not just a retreat from the world but a profound engagement with it. It's a space where we cultivate the virtues that make us more compassionate, understanding, and creative individuals. Silence, in its profound simplicity, offers us a path to a richer, more meaningful life, a life where we are attuned to the subtleties of our inner world and responsive to the complexities of the world around us. In this quietude, we discover that the journey inward is not a journey away from the world but a journey towards a deeper engagement with it. Silence is not an end but a beginning of a deeper understanding, a more profound connection, and a richer experience of life. Tolerance fostered in silence doesn't mean renouncing our convictions but opening ourselves to the peaceful coexistence of diverse opinions. Seneca, with his emphasis on virtue, would remind us that true greatness lies in the ability to coexist harmoniously despite differences. In silence, we practice active listening and understanding, building bridges instead of walls. Thus, the promotion of tolerance in silence becomes an act of mutual respect, where each moment of silence is an opportunity to set aside hasty judgments, open our hearts to diversity, and build a world where coexistence is nourished by understanding and respect. Silence reveals itself as an ally in constructing bridges that connect humanity in its vast and beautiful diversity. Now, let's delve into the 15th aspect of the Stoic perspective, the consolidation of self-confidence. In a world where external voices often dictate our self-worth, silence stands as the stage to strengthen our internal confidence. Visualize self-confidence as an internal lighthouse, illuminating your path independently of external fluctuations. In the calm of silence, this lighthouse shines more intensely, allowing you to connect with your inner voice, recognize your achievements, and become your own benchmark of worth. The Stoics teach us that true self-confidence is not dependent on external approval but on alignment with our principles and values. Aurelius would guide us on this journey, reminding us that true strength lies in remaining faithful to ourselves, even in the absence of external praise. In the process of consolidating self-confidence, silence becomes the space to hear our inner voice without the world's interference. Epictetus, focusing on what is within our control, recognizes that true security comes from managing our reactions to circumstances. Consolidated self-confidence in silence is not arrogance but authenticity. Seneca, with his practical perspective, would remind us that self-confidence is built on the coherence between our words and actions. In silence, we explore internal congruence, building a solid foundation for positive self-evaluation. Thus, consolidating self-confidence in silence becomes an act of self-reflection and acceptance, where each silent moment is an opportunity to recognize our strengths, learn from our weaknesses, and grow towards an inner confidence nourished from within. Advancing in our Stoic exploration, we enter the 16th aspect, the development of mindfulness. In a world full of distractions, silence becomes the training ground to cultivate mindfulness, living fully in the present moment. Visualize mindfulness as the ability to immerse yourself in the present, free from past or future anxieties. In silence, this practice is fortified as you disconnect from external distractions and immerse yourself in the richness of the now. The Stoics teach us that mindfulness is not just a technique but a way of life, embracing each moment with full awareness. Marco Aurelio guides us on this journey, reminding us that much of our suffering arises from resistance to what is. In silence, we learn to accept the present with serenity, to free ourselves from unnecessary worries, and to live each moment fully. Developing mindfulness in silence becomes a space for judgment-free observation, cultivating the ability to focus on what truly matters. Epictetus, with a focus on what we control, urges us to stay present and aware of our actions and reactions. Mindfulness, developed in silence, is not an escape from reality but a conscious embrace of the here and now. Seneca, with his practical approach, reminds us that inner peace is found in being fully present to the task at hand. In silence, we discover the connection between mindfulness and inner peace, finding in each moment a reminder to return to the present. The development of mindfulness in silence transforms our daily experience, tuning us into the present, experiencing life with full awareness, and cultivating an inner peace that transcends external changes. Silence becomes a teacher guiding us towards a fuller, more conscious life. Continuing our Stoic journey, we delve into the 17th aspect, nourishment of the soul through reflective reading. In a world overwhelmed with superficial information, silence becomes the space to immerse ourselves in the timeless wisdom of books, feeding our inner being. Envision reflective reading as a feast for the soul, where the words of great thinkers provide nourishment for thought and reflection. In silence, this feast is savored more deeply as we turn away from external distractions and immerse ourselves in pages resonating with truth and wisdom. The Stoics teach us that reflective reading is not just an intellectual exercise but a transformative practice that deepens our understanding of the world and ourselves. In the sanctuary of silence, we engage with the ideas that have shaped civilizations, finding guidance, inspiration, and solace. This practice becomes a dialogue with the ages, a communion with the minds that have traversed the path of human experience long before us. Reflective reading in silence is not merely absorbing information, it's an active engagement with ideas, a wrestling with concepts that challenge and expand our understanding. It's in this quiet contemplation that we forge a deeper connection with the human experience, gaining insights that illuminate our path and enrich our lives. In the quietude of reading, we are not alone but in the company of the greatest minds, engaging in a timeless conversation that spans the ages. This practice nurtures not just our intellect but our soul, providing sustenance for our deepest yearnings and questions. Thus, the nourishment of the soul through reflective reading in silence becomes more than an act of learning. It's a spiritual journey, an exploration of the vast landscape of human thought and wisdom. Each moment spent in the company of these transformative texts is a step towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Silence, therefore, is not just a backdrop for this journey, it's a vital participant, creating the space for these profound encounters with knowledge and wisdom. It's in the embrace of silence that we discover the true richness of reflective reading, where the words of the past echo with clarity and relevance in our present. Marco Aurelio would guide us on this journey, reminding us that each word written by the wise men of the past can serve as a lighthouse, illuminating the shadows of ignorance. In this process of nourishing the soul, silence becomes the conducive environment for absorbing the lessons of those who have walked before us. Epictetus, with his focus on what is within our control, urges us to choose our readings with discernment, seeking those that nourish our inner growth and fortify our character. Reflective reading in silence is not an escape from reality but a conscious investment in ideas that awaken our minds and souls. Seneca, with his practical perspective, would remind us that books can be our silent teachers, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of life. In silence, we explore the connection between reflective reading and spiritual enrichment. In short, the nourishment of the soul through reflective reading in silence becomes an act of self-discipline and self-improvement. Every moment of silence is an opportunity to open the pages of wisdom, to learn from those who have left their mark on history, and to allow the contemplation of profound ideas to influence our own development. Now let's move into the 18th aspect, the strengthening of personal relationships through empathic silence. In a world where communication is often overwhelmed by noise, silence presents itself as a powerful tool for deeper connections. Visualize empathic silence as an invisible bridge connecting hearts, fostering understanding beyond words. In silence, this bridge is strengthened as we free ourselves from the constant need to speak and allow presence and active listening to communicate for us. The Stoics teach us that true communication doesn't always require words but an authentic connection found in the silent space between two souls. Marco Aurelio would guide us on this journey, showing us that authentic empathy is born from understanding and being present with another in their moments of joy or pain. In silence, we learn to put aside the urgency of offering solutions and simply be there, sharing the emotional space with those we love. In this process, silence becomes a nourishing space for emotional connections. Epictetus, focusing on what we can control, urges us to cultivate the ability to listen beyond words, capturing emotions and needs expressed in silence. Empathic silence is not emotional distancing but a deep form of presence. Seneca, with his pragmatic perspective, would remind us that true communication extends beyond words, encompassing nonverbal language and shared emotional vibrations. In silence, we discover a unique connection that arises when we allow our souls to communicate in stillness. Thus, strengthening personal relationships through empathic silence becomes an act of love and understanding. Each silent moment is an opportunity to build emotional bridges, to share life's burdens, and to fortify the bonds that transcend words. Continuing our exploration, we enter the 19th aspect, the discovery of calm in conflictive relationships. In a world where disagreements are inevitable, silence emerges as a refuge where we can find serenity amidst emotional storms. Visualize calm in conflictive relationships like the eye of a storm, a tranquil space in the midst of chaos. In silence, this space expands, enabling us to face disagreements with a serene mind and an open heart. The Stoics teach us that inner peace is not tied to the absence of conflict but to our response to it. Marco Aurelio guides us, showing that in moments of discord, silence can be our most powerful ally. Instead of reacting impulsively, in silence, we learn to respond calmly, recognizing that true strength lies in moderating our emotions. In this discovery of calm, silence becomes the canvas on which we paint our responses to relational adversity. Epictetus, focusing on what is in our control, urges us to let go of the need to change others and instead change our perceptions and reactions to conflict. The calm discovered in silence is not indifference but a conscious act of transcending momentary tensions. Seneca reminds us that inner serenity is a choice, a response cultivated in silence before it's brought into the noise of conflict. In silence, we explore the connection between inner peace and the ability to maintain healthy relationships. Thus, the discovery of calm in conflictive relationships through silence becomes an act of wisdom and self-control. Each silent moment is an opportunity to pause before responding, to seek solutions instead of assigning blame, and to preserve harmony amidst differences. Now, let's delve into the 20th aspect, deepening personal authenticity. In a world that often pressures us to present idealized versions of ourselves, silence offers a sanctuary where we can be authentically ourselves. Visualize authenticity as a root that grows deep into the soil of your being, nurturing your growth and sustaining you through life storms. In silence, this root strengthens as you allow yourself to be who you truly are, free from the masks the world might suggest you wear. The Stoics teach us that true strength is found in fully accepting oneself. Aurelio guides us on this journey, reminding us that authenticity is not just about showing ourselves to the world as we are but also fully accepting ourselves, imperfections and all. In silence, we learn to embrace our truth, freeing ourselves from the pressure of meeting external expectations. This process of deepening authenticity becomes a space to explore our foundational emotions, our authentic dreams, and our true aspirations. In the quietude of self-reflection, we uncover our genuine selves, stripped of societal facades and superficialities. This journey in silence is not one of isolation but a profound connection with our innermost selves, fostering a sense of authenticity that resonates in every aspect of our lives. Through this expanded narrative, we weave a story rich in philosophical insights and emotional depth, engaging the audience and inspiring a transformative journey into the depths of silence and its profound impact on our personal development and relationships. Epictetus, with his focus on what is within our control, encourages us to live in harmony with our deepest principles, standing firm against the pressure of external conformity. The authenticity discovered in silence is not a surrender, but a courageous act of personal affirmation. Seneca, with his pragmatic perspective, reminds